OpenAI quietly dropped something that could reshape an entire industry. The Sora 2 video API is now open to developers, and while the feature list sounds technical, the implications run much deeper than a changelog. This isn't a consumer toy, it's infrastructure for the next generation of media production. Before video continuation, AI video was essentially a one-shot gamble. You prayed the 10-second clip landed because you couldn't build on it. Now you can generate scene chunks programmatically, iterate on each piece independently, and stitch them into something coherent. Think of it like writing code in functions instead of one giant script. That's not a gimmick. That's a professional workflow emerging in real time. Ask anyone who has tried to build a narrative with AI video tools, and they'll tell you the same horror story. Your lead character looks like a completely different person in every single shot. It's been the fundamental creative barrier for 2 years running. Custom character consistency in Sora 2 is the feature ad agencies and indie studios have been waiting for. Because without it, you can't tell a story. Beautiful footage with an inconsistent protagonist is just expensive stock video. Batch job processing for video generation sounds boring, and that's exactly why it matters. When a company builds batch processing into a creative tool, it signals they're thinking about pipelines at scale, not just impressive one-off demos at a conference. This is the kind of feature that lets a marketing team generate 500 product video variants overnight, or a media company automate localized content across dozens of markets simultaneously. Boring features built for scale are how categories get won. The decision to lead with an API rather than a polished consumer application is a deliberate strategic choice. OpenAI isn't trying to be the destination where you make videos. They want Sora 2 running silently inside the tools you already use, the platforms your clients build on, and the workflows your team depends on. This is the AWS playbook applied to generative video. You win a technology category not by having the best interface, but by becoming the invisible engine underneath everything else. Honest take, a 20-second maximum clip length is genuinely limiting for anything beyond social media content. Real commercial and cinematic production demands longer windows, finer directorial control, and the ability to capture sustained emotional beats that don't resolve in under half a minute. The tools are impressive, and the trajectory is undeniably upward. But anyone claiming AI video is ready to replace a professional production crew right now is selling something. Acknowledge the gap even as you study the technology. The speed of this progression is what should genuinely catch your attention. Capabilities that existed only inside closely guarded research environments half a year ago are now accessible to any developer with an API key and a use case. The technology is compressing what used to take years into quarters. If you're building anything in media, marketing, or content tooling, and you've been waiting for the right moment to start experimenting, that moment has already arrived. The question now is whether you're in the early group or the catching up group. The builders who will define how AI video gets used in media and marketing over the next 3 years are the ones running experiments right now, not the ones reading about it. You don't need a perfect use case or a finished strategy. You need a small project that forces you to understand the constraints and discover the surprising capabilities. Every major platform shift in the last 2 decades rewarded early technical familiarity. This one will be no different, and the API is already live.